Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dear Sports. Today, I got to sit down with Coach David Wetzel. Coach Wetzel was a wide receiver for the Baylor Bears in the late 80s to the early 90s under Coach Grant Taft. Wetzel spent 25 years coaching Texas high school football, including his final 13 years from 2004 to 2016 as the head coach and athletic coordinator for Ronald Reagan High School in San Antonio. Coach Wetzel now serves as the executive director of the V Association, and you can find him at South Lake Carroll High School football games this fall, cheering on his son Skylar as the running backs coach for the program. Thanks for tuning in today, and make sure to like and subscribe. Enjoy the episode. Coach Wetzel, thank you so much for coming.
Glad to be here. Fired up to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm honored to have you.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me my first tour of the Alico building of all my years. Had never been up here. So it's been great. Thank you.
It is kind of fun when I tell people it's an Alico building. I kind of bribe some people. I'm like, we're in the Alico building. Not a lot of people have been up here.
I got to be here, and I got to see from the 21st floor, so it's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. Okay. You have had quite the journey just through athletics. I mean, Baylor alone, but tell us just a little bit about yourself and kind of how you started playing football to where you are now. I know it's a loaded question, but
that's a lot of stuff for an old guy. Wow. Well, let me start by saying that I've been married to my wife Shanna for 33 years.
Yeah.
We have 3 boys, Garen and his wife Elaine, Skylar and his wife Brianna, and our granddaughter Manning May, and our youngest son Chase, recent Baylor grad.
Yes.
So my wife and I raised 3 sons, and she was an awesome coach's wife for 32 years.
Oh, yeah.
But going way back, I started playing football when I was in the 7th grade.
Okay.
And thought it was the greatest thing ever. And for some crazy reason, thought I could play at the college level, and had some opportunities to have scholarship at some smaller places, but chose to walk on at Baylor through some connections.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what made me think that I could actually compete and get it done, but it was, I'm thankful the Lord put that on my heart.
Yeah.
Really changed the trajectory of my life and my career and everything. So, I came to Baylor in 1987 as a walk-on and got a scholarship a couple years later. Was a lifetime backup, but got to play, and I'm thankful for it. Yeah. I mean, knowing what I know now about college football and the people that are successful, I'm really thankful that I got on the field and got to play, caught a few balls, and more than anything else, knew that I had the respect of my teammates.
Yeah.
That is probably what I look back the most and realize that I had a lot of great teammates that really thankful that I was there with them.
Yeah.
And so college football was a big deal for me, eye-opening in a lot of ways, helped me realize that, gosh, this is what I think I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
I thought it was just unbelievably cool to be able to, because I came from a small high school, I thought it was awesome to have a position coach that you could sit and watch film with, and everything was broken down, and it was just so much more technical, fundamental. And so I kind of got the coaching bug while I was at Baylor.
Okay. Crazy
enough, I don't know what, I just thought of this.
Okay.
While I was at Baylor my junior and senior year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were actually a couple of guys on the football team that were also fraternity guys. That doesn't happen as much.
Yeah.
And so then, and I can't remember if it was 1990 or 91, but they had a full padded football tournament.
Shut up.
And so I coached the Pikes. The Pikes are no longer at Baylor.
No, they're not.
I did, but I coached those guys, and I loved every bit of it. It was a blast, and so I got the coaching bug.
Yeah.
And realized that's what I wanted to do. Could have probably stayed at Baylor to be a GA or gone some other places to be a GA at the college level, but for whatever reason, I felt led to be a high school coach.
That's awesome.
Thankful that was the case. But I have told this story to many people. One of my job offers in the spring of my graduate 5th year of football, I was in grad school then, and had a job offer to go to Abilene Cooper, be receivers coach with Randy Allen, who still is the head coach at Highland Park right now.
Wow.
Unbelievable man.
Yeah.
Tremendous man. Winningest coach of all time and just icon, super guy. And I'm thinking, I'm going to Abilene Cooper. I'm going to go coach the receivers at Abilene Cooper, work with Randy Allen. And I came back to Baylor to the football offices. Coach Taft, Coach Lane, who is no longer with us, a dear soul. Coach Davidson, no longer with us, dear soul. Three of those guys, and there may have been a couple more, said, you're not going to Abilene Cooper.
No way.
And they handed me a little sheet of paper that said, you're going to Colleen Ellison, and you're going to go talk to this guy, and you're going to be the secondary coach and the FCA sponsor at Colleen Ellison. True story. Wow. So I'm like, why would I go to Colleen?
Yeah.
And so I drove and did the interview. Decided I felt right about it, and took the job. Met my wife there at church like 2 or 3 weeks later.
No way.
So I'm like, okay. This is why I was supposed to be here. So started my coaching career at Colleen Ellison. She and I met and married. This is not great marital counseling, but we met and married in 6 months, which it was supposed to be. So it was all good, but I don't necessarily recommend that to everybody. But yeah, I spent 5 years at Colleen Ellison, and then I went to Hyde Park Baptist High School, which I said I would never go to a private school, but it was a Baylor connection. There was a Baylor deal, that there were a lot of Baylor people in that church and in that school, and they kept twisting our arm to come take the job, and made it to where it was something that we needed to do. And so spent 3 years there, learned to be the athletic director, learned to be the head football coach. And it was good for our growth as a family and for me professionally. Went back then to Colleen High School as the head coach.
Okay.
My wife's hometown. Spent 4 years there. All three of our sons had been born by then. And 2 years in a row, we played San Antonio Reagan while I was at Colleen High School.
Nice.
We beat them both years. I say that. But I saw the potential there.
Yeah.
You could just see it in the stands with the band, the drill team, the cheerleaders. And I knew they had won in tennis and golf and swimming and soccer and volleyball and everything. But football had not really had a successful winning season yet.
They were next.
And so I thought there's a lot of potential there. Then I realized that Coach Taft's grandson was there.
No way. Wow.
And so I talked to him about the job. And I had actually interviewed at a couple of other places that I was interested in. Just felt like it might be a good time to move the family.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, I think that could be a good job. So ended up getting to coach his grandson. And so
cool.
Coach was in the stands, and he actually came to watch film with us a few times.
Wow.
That was a really neat thing to have him around like that, and for him to be a mentor through that process. And he was for me through the good and the bad, through my coaching career, through the hard times and the great times. And spent 13 years at San Antonio Reagan.
Yep.
Would not have left there. I mean this sincerely, would not have left there if it wouldn't have been for the Baylor job. I was at that time serving as the president of the Texas High School Coaches Association. Maybe the greatest honor that you can have in our association. And so I'm thankful for that. But just felt like the opportunity to come to Baylor, to come back to my alma mater, this university, and serve. The opportunity that it might allow some of my family to be a part of that, and it did. And so it's gone by quickly. That was December of 2016, so time has flown by. Yeah. So I don't know what I didn't answer there, but there was a lot of stuff. Yeah.
You read your bio, and I'm like, there's just so much rich football history in there, and you've just touched a lot of high school kids. And I mean, to play for Grant Taft, to coach his grandson, and then to watch film with him, and that is just, as a Baylor legacy alum, that is huge. I think a lot of those kids in that film room probably didn't realize the weight that held.
Oh yeah.
'Cause that's just really cool. But like you said, you had a fun career at Baylor. I was also in that walk-on spot, would give in my left arm to be a Baylor just to be a part of it.
Right.
And you think you can do it. You're like, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to prove them wrong. And then my first practice, I'm like, I need a helmet. These girls are hitting the ball way too hard. Speed changes. But are thankful for some of those teammates, like you said, that were able to respect me and knew who I was. And, I'm in the stage of life where everyone's getting married and going to these weddings and going to these Baylor volleyball weddings of girls that were seniors my freshman year, and they wanted me to be there. So that's just those are just fun things that
Absolutely.
you get to be a part of
Yep.
in that Baylor circle. But had a good career. Was that the dream for you to be a Baylor? Did you want that? I mean,
I thought there were some other opportunities. I think
Right.
it was probably somewhere in there. Yes. I would say, kind of going back a little more history.
Yeah.
My grandfather played at Baylor
yeah.
in the late 20s. He actually won the Southwest Conference in the discus in 31,
awesome.
I believe. Yeah. And then my uncle, who passed away this past year, he played in the mid 50s
Okay.
here. Then I was late 80s, 87 to 91, and then my son Skylar played in 19 and 20.
Yeah.
So we actually have 4 generations of letter winners for Baylor football.
That's sick.
So I'm glad I came to Baylor. Nobody told me I had to,
That's good.
which I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
But it was whether it was the dream all the time, I think I knew that it was where I was supposed to be.
Right.
So very thankful for that. Would not trade that for anything.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, my dad, and
Yep.
so
Yep.
the legacy there of him playing golf, my mom being 5th generation.
Right. I understand all that. I get
You
it.
get it. Like we're kind
Yeah.
of the same in some
Yeah.
ways. It was tough.
Yeah.
I have vivid memories of, recruiting letters rolling in, and I get one from Long Beach State.
Yeah.
And I was like, I open it, take a look. I'm like, Dad, what do you think? He's like, seems like, be the volleyball, volleyball history
Right.
there. Tara Cross Battle, who coached my club, she played there. She was amazing. Played in the Olympics. And so I'm talking about it with my dad, whatever. And then my dad goes into getting ready for bed, whatever, goes into the bathroom closet and finds my mom holding the letter, the Long Beach State letter, in the closet, just bawling.
Oh,
And he's
gosh.
like, she cannot go there. You cannot let her go. And he was like, it's just a letter.
It's just a
okay.
letter. That's right.
It's just a letter. Nothing.
Talked her off the ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was hard for,
Yeah.
I don't know what my mom would have done if I didn't go to
Yeah,
Baylor.
but
She
it
would have
worked
been
out.
okay. It
It
worked
worked
out.
out.
But that's
Yeah.
good. You're able to feel like you can make that decision and create your
It was my
legacy.
decision, and I'm thankful for it.
Yeah. That's
All these
sweet.
years later. Yeah.
So you got to play for Grant Taft.
Did.
What was that like? And-
Just iconic.
yeah.
There's so much respect for Coach Taft and his family.
Yeah.
Just wonderful people. I mean, I think the thing I'm most thankful for is that there was never a question. Coach Taft was a man of God, always, and through the highs and lows. I mean, he was a real human being and is a real human being. But you knew where he stood with his faith,
Yeah.
and always appreciated that from him, from his leadership.
That's good.
Some people ask me when I've had the opportunity through the years to speak
Yeah.
at various things, they say, why don't you use notes when you speak? And I'm like, Coach Taft didn't use notes. So that's why I don't use notes when I speak. That's true.
Oh.
I think that Coach Taft was an incredible speaker.
Yeah.
What's the word? Extemporaneous speaking. That's him.
Okay.
I mean, that is when I think of that off the cuff, being able to talk about that with no notes,
yeah.
it's Grant Taft.
No way.
And Coach Taft could give a sermon at the Baptist church, or he could walk down here in downtown
Yeah.
Waco and do the same thing, and everybody would respect him. And I'm just was always thankful for his ability to communicate.
Yeah. Because
And-
he led church services.
Oh, he did.
Correct.
He did a lot of everything.
Okay. Because I feel like I remember my mom saying,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, he could deliver a sermon when needed.
When needed.
Absolutely, when needed. Sure.
because I feel like I remember my mom
Yeah.
saying, like, you would go to Baylor football game Saturday,
Yeah.
and then you would see Grant Taft.
Well, he would speak at like an FCA day or something like that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
no doubt you knew where he was with his faith.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's sweet. So was that a big draw for you to come to Baylor?
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
Be coached by him?
Absolutely, you bet.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that because I was able to have a role model
Yeah.
as a coach.
Do you feel like that led you into your faith journey, or was that kind
I
of
mean, my
established
faith
for you?
journey started when I was young.
Yeah.
But I think that helped to have that during the college years.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
think
tough.
that's during the college years when you're 18 to 22 to have the head coach that you know where he stands in his relationship with the Lord and he's able to articulate that. It's a big deal.
Yeah, that's really good. Moving to your high school career,
Okay.
being able to coach at Reagan,
Yep.
serving as the president of Texas High School Football Association, just kind of tell us about how you feel like that experience was good for your shift to college coaching, or what
Well,
that set you up for.
I think one going to Reagan when I did, it was a huge school.
Yeah, it's massive.
At times our enrollment was well over 4,000. And so I learned to manage an enormous group of people and work in a high-pressure environment with, in some ways, a smaller staff than that size school probably should have had at times. But I learned a lot and learned how to better manage and communicate with people. Had to deal with some hard things, had to go through some hard things, and where I had to dismiss some staff members that those are things that you don't think about. You think everything's supposed to be great. You're supposed to coach football. You deal with a lot of other things. Booster club. I was the athletic director for the campus. I mean, just everything. I mean, I did a lot of stuff and was extremely involved. We lived in the community. Our kids went to school there. So in some ways, I could not go to the grocery store or to Walgreens or a restaurant without people wanting to visit.
Getting stopped,
And there's a lot of joy in that, but there's some fishbowl, like, do I want to get out today and deal with people? But thankful for it. My kids had a great growing up experience there. We were treated extremely well. Again, we would not have left if it wouldn't have been for the Baylor deal, but I learned a lot. Learned to deal with a lot of different things. Felt like we coached football on a very high level. Never won a state championship, but we did win 7 district championships, and were beaten in the regional finals 5 times, I believe, and lost to some really good teams. I coached against some great people. Some great players. I coached some great players. And some great young men that I love getting invitations to their weddings or things like this, see what they're doing in their lives today. I'm proud of that. But that was a great experience. Loved it. But again, the opportunity to come to Baylor was something that we couldn't pass up.
No, absolutely.
But people ask me about that because we could have stayed. So again, I'm serving as the president of the High School Coaches Association. That was a huge honor. And so that kind of leads me to answering another part of your question. How did that help me to prepare for this? Well, being the president of that organization, I got to know coaches from everywhere around the state.
Everyone.
So I got to know coaches from the Panhandle to the Valley, from East Texas to El Paso.
Very cool.
So I got to know coaches from everywhere and realize we're all speaking the same language and we're all the same guy. And we're all trying to do the same thing. So that was super helpful in taking the job at Baylor. But I love telling this because I think it speaks to kind of our family dynamic a little bit. But I was actually leading the meetings of the board of directors of the Coaches Association. And I introduced Tom Herman that day because he had just taken the Texas job.
No way.
And so I introduced Tom Herman, and he's actually talking at the podium that I'd introduced him. And I had 2 or 3 friends that were going to be joining him on the Texas staff. I knew all those guys too. And they're like, hey, we're going to tell Tom he needs to hire you. And so I'm like, okay, here's Tom Herman right here. We're going to tell Tom he ought to hire you. And I had been talking to 3 major college coaches during the season because that was the Baylor season where Jim Grobe was in charge as an interim coach. So Baylor was going to be hiring a new head coach.
Right after Browse,
And so I'd been talking to 3 guys that thought they were going to get the job. And I'm not going to name them, but there were 3 guys that thought they were going to get the job.
No way.
And if they got the job, I was going to highly consider going with them. And I had talked to my wife about it, and she was supportive.
Good.
She didn't know it was going to happen as fast as it did. So I get a text from a head coach that I'm not going to name. I get a text. I shouldn't be looking at my phone because I'm the president of the Coach Association. Tom Herman's talking. I get a text that says, I'm sorry, I'm not getting the job at Baylor. They're about to hire Matt Rule from Temple. I'm like, well, okay. And then I just set my phone down. And Coach Herman gets done. We shake hands. We dismiss everybody for lunch. I look at my phone again. It says, hey, Matt, this is the number you need to call Matt Rule. He wants to talk to you.
No way.
Yeah, that's how that happened.
That's
and
crazy.
So I'm on the phone with Coach Rule later on, and Coach Niamatalolo, who used to be the head coach at Navy, they were dear friends. We had a great relationship. He gave him my name. Coach Taft had given him my name. I'll tell you this about Coach Rule. Coach Rule was not going to take the job at Baylor unless he got Coach Taft to bless it.
That's so
so
sweet.
Coach Taft gave him my name. Chad Morris, who was at SMU at that time, gave Coach Taft my name, and some other guys. So we talked that evening. I was in Waco the next day.
No way.
And then I drive back to San Antonio, and I go to Reagan High School, again, huge school. Where am I going to find my kiddo? Because Coach Rule had called me while I was driving back to San Antonio and said, hey, I do want to offer you a job. I want you to come, make it worth your while to come, because I don't know exactly what it's going to be.
Right.
I think it may be coaching tight ends, but it may be an off-the-field deal. If I make it worth your while, will you come join us? And I said, I need to go talk to my family.
Yeah.
So that was my answer.
That's good.
He said, okay, I'll and that's not, he likes things fast. So he waited on me on that one. But I went to, I knew Shannon, my wife, where she was on things.
Yeah.
And so I walked in and told her real quick. She said, let's go. Let's do a new adventure. Let's do it.
She's so cool.
And
I
so,
love
yeah,
meeting her.
she was ready to do something different. It was an adventure. And so, but I needed to find Chase. Chase was a freshman at Reagan High School. All he knew was being a Reagan Rattler. That's all he knew. Everybody loved Chase Wetzel. He was a really good football player in our freshman football team. That's all he had known. He'd gone to elementary school there, gone to middle school there. That's what he knew.
That's brutal.
So I went and talked to him. I found him quickly in the hallway of 4,000 kids. And I said, hey, Coach Rule offered me a job. I said, what do you think? He goes, Dad, I prayed about this and you need to take it. So I'm like, whoa.
That's huge.
Now, it was a little longer than that, but that was the gist of it.
Wow.
And so that was huge.
What a
And
just
so, yeah,
story.
so that was huge. So, yeah, I was in Waco the next day
Wow.
and haven't looked back. I've been crazy. So we moved Chase to Midway, and he was well taken care of, and then he got to be a Baylor Bear.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And now he has his master's degree from Baylor and has a great job, and very thankful for that. So I think God had a plan orchestrated in that.
Absolutely.
We just had to kind of follow along with that. But it's been an adventure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Texas high school football is just its own thing. Friday Night Lights, like that is its own world.
For sure.
So to have a huge hand in that, knowing everyone and being able to, if I need anything, I'm like, let me ask Wetzel. Hold on. Let me ask Wetzel if they know this
Some of
person.
that's because of my age.
No.
Some of that's because I'm old.
No. But to be a part of that is really, really
and
cool.
it's still, those relationships are not ever going to change.
No.
I still have those relationships, and I'm thankful for them. I have a son that coaches high school football now.
Yes, South Lake.
Skylar coaches at South Lake Carroll. He was at Denton Geyer for 3 years. He's been at Carroll now for his second year. So he has coached in some really good programs and some bunch of playoff games.
Yeah.
And so I get to go watch him when I have the opportunity. So it's fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what was it like to be on Rule's staff? I think he's just like one of the coolest people ever, personally. Like what he did to Baylor so fast after that time, I think is just remarkable.
Well, saying that, I was very thankful to get to work for Coach Rule and Coach Aranda.
Yeah.
And both of them treated me very, very well.
Yeah.
Very thankful for both of them. Have great respect for both of them. And both of them are great football coaches, but they're very different guys, and they go about it way different ways. And so I learned a lot from both of them. But Coach Rule was I knew that from the moment I jumped on staff with him, I knew he trusted me, and I knew that he needed my help.
Yeah.
And I was thankful for that.
Yeah.
And people ask me, what was he like? It was a photographic memory. We would go, I remember going to speak to a big group of high school coaches.
Okay.
A big group.
Yeah.
And we're driving up to it, and he said, "That's what you want me to say?" And he talks super fast, but he's super smart. And intense and knows what he's doing. But he said, "What am I talking about?" And so I gave him like 3 points, and I said, "You're going to be talking to these high school coaches, and you're from New York. You played at Penn State," and I kind of went through some things with him. Well, he goes in there and gives a 30-minute sermon and gets a standing ovation.
No way.
And doesn't look at one note. So I'm thinking, Coach Taft.
Coach Taft.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just killed it.
Yeah.
And just to have him ask questions about, hey, who am I talking to? What do they need to hear? And then he would go deliver.
Yeah.
And that was whether we were talking to alumni or whether we were talking to high school coaches. And that's the thing I remember from day one that he kept telling me. He goes, I want high school coaches here and I want our alumni here.
Wow.
So I think that's kind of how it ended up in the role that I ended up in. Because, I mean, I'm a football coach. I want to coach football.
Yeah.
And I was still able to be involved in football. I was a special teams analyst, caregiver specialist, and dealt with our special teams during that time. But I spent more of my time dealing with high school relations and dealing with our alumni relations with our former football players. And I really believe that's and that continued with Coach Aranda.
That's awesome.
And that's very likely why I'm doing what I'm doing now with our former players in the Letter Winners Association. But no, Coach Rule was good to me. And hard charging, intense. Would give us all a pop quiz on something in a staff meeting. And I like that. He kept us on our toes.
That's good.
And, I'm several years older than him, but he would challenge me, and that was good.
Yeah, that is good. That's great leadership.
Yeah, and, there are things that I learned from him and things that I've learned from Coach Aranda that if I'm talking to a group of coaches, I'm going to use those things.
That's good. Yeah. You also got to lead Sunday sermons?
We did chapel back when during COVID.
Okay.
Let's go back before that. So 2019, Coach Rule said, I want to start doing chapel. Said, so this was kind of a conversation, like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want this to look like? So it's kind of one of those deals. He goes, I'll give you like 15 or 20 minutes, you figure it out kind of deal. And I don't think he thought that, me, gray-headed old guy walking up there with a guitar was going to be like something that the guys, I think he was skeptical at the beginning, but we did one time and he loved it.
Oh.
And it was great. It was so fun.
Yeah.
So every Sunday afternoon we had Sunday chapel, and it was great. We had a fun time. So, we would just play some songs and we'd have a speaker.
You had a video that went viral.
Oh yeah, we had a video that went viral. I think so. So
are you like Instagram famous?
No, I don't know. I don't. I barely have an Instagram.
You're great on Twitter.
I try to be great. That was
Twitter.
a recruiting deal from.
Yeah.
That was even as a high school coach. Kind of had to be involved in Twitter, but yeah, from working with him on the staff, it involved heavily in recruiting. I had to have the Twitter. So I'm way more involved on Twitter than I am on Instagram. Now, Facebook, that's what us old people do. So that's kind of where. But we did the chapel, and it was a blast. And so when Coach Aranda took the job, he's something he wanted to continue.
That's good.
But that was the COVID year.
Yeah.
And so, we had to find some interesting ways. So we did some online chapels, and I think that might have been the one that went viral.
54,000 views.
That was the one that was like, I think that might have been the one, because we did that one during the COVID time. So I'm thankful to Coach for Coach Aranda for starting it, for Coach Aranda for keeping it going. So we did that for the next few years. Yeah. Coach Aranda kept it going, and we would. It looked a little different at times depending on who was available to speak.
Yeah.
But we had a good time singing.
Yeah.
And just having a nice time, just 15 or 20 minutes with the football team. And
that's so healthy.
So it was fun. That was really fun.
Yeah. They need that. It's healthy to sit around and sing a song.
They still do a chapel service now. I'm not sure exactly what it looks like now. Since my time, I've been off the football staff for just over a year now, and so I'm not involved in the daily schedule.
Right.
But I know they still have a chapel.
Yeah.
So,
It's good for them to have that break and
they need it.
team bonding
They need
and
it.
need to not hit someone for a second.
Sure. They need
It. We're going to take a quick break and talk about Hondo Hat Company. You know who this is, Cole Posey.
I do. I like the hats,
they're
too.
Sick.
They're
he did a great job, played baseball at Baylor. But make sure you check out Hondo Hat Company, hondohatco.com. Give Cole a follow. He'll also be sponsoring our game day shows. Make sure to check that out. And I think his new commercial will be in this episode, which I'm pumped.
Okay, let's do a commercial. What a deal.
Sick.
All right.
So, go Cole.
I'm Cole Posey, and I'm a third-generation Baylor Bear. During my time playing baseball at Baylor, I started a hat company called Hondo, which started as meek and humble beginnings, has quickly grown into something more. Over 40,000 hats sold, and then over 100 retail locations nationwide. I love vintage Western hats, but couldn't stand the condition they came in, so I decided to make my own. Vintage style, but with modern aesthetics. Thank you so much for making my dream come true and for enabling what was once a dream to become a reality. God bless.
So you now serve as the executive director for the Bee Association. Bee Association is something really special just to me because I grew up in the Letter Winners Lounge and Floyd Casey and so many stories of pouring down rain, running in there, trying to stay warm. My dad and Walter grabbing the doors closed, all the things. But you have a great hand in that don't quote me on this. You will know this answer. It's the second largest association.
You know, I don't know in terms of like where it sits, but I know it's this. I don't think this is necessarily a biased answer either. I think it's the best organization of its kind.
I agree.
Just because we're absolutely supported by athletics.
Yeah.
But we're also self-sustaining because of our people.
Yeah.
And so I don't think there's anybody else that's really like it. And we've got great people.
Yeah.
And in our university and our athletic department's thankful for it.
Yeah.
And we've got incredible people that just love Baylor.
Yeah.
And they love their time at Baylor. And they spent, their blood, sweat, and tears.
It's helpful.
Wherever, they were on the field, the court, the track, the diamond, whatever they were doing. And, they want to still support their university.
Yeah. Which I think is so important now. I mean, we're just in a whole new world of college athletics of 1 years, 2 years, transfers, the whole thing. And so you're not really going to see a 4-year letter winner a whole lot, which is sad, but you have organizations like the Bee Association to keep that. And so, like, what's your passion behind that? And I mean, you went through the recruiting process with like Texas football with Rule and Aranda. Did that bleed into this? What does it look like for you?
I just I think relationships are key in everything that you just mentioned, and this is a people business, and I'm thankful for our Baylor people. And to me, this is just an opportunity to serve in an organization that I feel very passionate about.
That's awesome.
These are people that have the same love for their university and that have the same passion for their university that I do, and we're like-minded.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good time for me career-wise. Obviously, I loved coaching football.
Yeah.
Loved being in football. It's part of who I am, I guess, so to speak. But it's I always said I did not want to be so old and still be coaching, if that makes any sense. And so, I just really believe God opened a door at the right time. Walter was a dear friend of mine.
Yeah.
Love Walter. But when he decided to retire, got mentioned to me a couple of times, and I kind of pushed away a little bit and just kind of started feeling like, maybe this is what I should really am supposed to do.
Right.
And so I'm grateful. Just absolutely grateful because I think it's an opportunity to serve an incredible group of people.
Yeah.
And just support them. And I love the opportunity of getting to talk to the 23-year-old, recent letter winner to the 93 plus. I mean, I get to hear all sorts of stories.
It's really cool.
From all those people.
Yeah.
And, we see more of our people during football season just because so many come back for football games.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a year-round deal. We see people throughout the year.
Yeah.
We'll have a golf tournament in the spring, and we'll have a track alumni deal during the spring,
fun.
and we'll do other reunions.
Yeah.
And we'll go to various alumni events in the spring and the summer.
Yeah.
But you see a lot of people during football season.
Yeah.
I went with when I was on staff with Coach Rule.
You probably didn't even know.
I went to the Letter Winners Lounge to speak on behalf of the football team.
Oh, wow.
He would send me in there to go talk about the game.
Yeah.
Then when went on staff with Coach Aranda, he would actually come down to the Letter Winners Lounge part of the time. I'd walk him down there.
Yeah.
And so that was my interaction in the Letter Winners Lounge. I had no idea we served snacks at halftime. Had no clue about that.
It's my favorite part.
I had no idea. I learned that one not just right before we started this thing last year. But I love being in the lounge on game days. So you get an opportunity to see a lot of people.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And it's an opportunity for me to reconnect with a lot of people from way back in the past.
Oh, yeah.
But to meet some new wonderful people also.
Yeah.
And to hear their stories. And I think I have a unique perspective. I mean,
Definitely.
again, having my time been in the late 80s, early 90s, but having had family that was way back,
Yeah.
I know the history.
Yeah.
But then having been on staff from the recent times,
And you had a son.
and I had
on
a son
team.
play, and so it's I've got a unique perspective on
Definitely.
Baylor through the years, so
Yeah.
to speak. So
Which
yeah.
is so important in a
Yeah.
role like this. Like
Yeah.
you get the 20s to the 2000s, like you get that
Yeah.
time period. One of my favorite things is seeing my parents interact with their old college friends in the lounge. They're like,
Yeah,
"Oh
fun.
my goodness, can
Good to
you
see
believe
you."
that's who that
Yeah.
is?"
Yeah.
And then they start reliving
Yep.
all their
Oh, yeah,
college
it's great to see
stories.
people, yeah.
And so it's
I think
really
people
sweet.
that have not seen the lounge really don't know what the lounge is like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
I'm excited to
Oh, yeah.
be an alumni in it
Come
this
on.
year and
Yeah.
experience
Come on
it
in there.
from that level. If you could be a college football player right now, what would you say to your teammates or say to those guys? It's just a completely different path than what you took with.
If I was a college football player right now,
Yeah, what would you tell your teammate? Like,
God, I wonder if they'd pay me any money. I wonder.
right?
No, I would say no matter what the exterior things are in terms of financial or things like that, I would say cherish the time with your teammates.
Yeah.
Cherish the time you have actually playing college football. These are formative times. These are times to grow up.
Yeah.
These are, when you're 18 to 22, 23, you really do a lot of growth.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, socially, emotionally,
Definitely.
spiritually. The opportunity to grow in those areas, take advantage of it.
Yeah.
That would be my biggest piece of advice to the college athlete right now. Any sport,
Yeah.
take full advantage of it, because these might be the people that stand with you at your wedding.
Yeah.
These might be the people that support you in a very hard time one of these days.
Yeah.
So I think you need to lean into your teammates and get a degree
Yeah.
from Baylor University if at all possible.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good. Well, everyone that gets to come on my podcast
Yeah.
gets to answer this question. If you could write a letter to sports, what would you say?
Tell me a thing about this. It just keeps popping into my head. The Cody Johnson, Dear Rodeo, and I'm saying, Dear Sports, I'd like to think you miss me too, but I know you don't. I mean, that's kind of what I think about, like I had my time playing sports. I had my time coaching sports. Now I get to be a supporter of people that played sports. So it's still a part of me. Always will be. Thankful for sports. Not just because of the competitive aspect of it. That's a great part of it, but because of the relationships that have been built through sports. So I would say thank you, sports, for the relationships that I have through all my times in sports.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming
Yeah,
on. I
absolutely. It was
appreciate
fun.
you.
It was good.
Yeah,
Good
this
stuff.
is good. Get
Yeah.
to relive all
Yeah.
the things.
Good stuff.
Well, thanks.
Thank you.